For centuries, the English have ruled Ireland with an iron fist, seizing land and using military force to carry out their will. Many Irishmen have struggled against this tyranny. But one 25-year-old is determined to finally free his country. His name is Robert Emmett.
There was nobody really who has felt as passionately about it as he did. And he was a man that commanded people's attention when he walked into the room. He was a natural leader.
So in March, Emmett secretly gathers some like-minded friends and unveils an audacious plan to attack the very seat of the enemy's power.
Dublin Castle was the real symbol of British rule in Ireland. So it was Emmett's intention to capture it. He felt that that would really be a catalyst to launch a full-scale rebellion throughout Ireland.
But taking the stronghold will not be easy.
There are only 3 gates into the castle, and there would have been a military presence here 24/7.
So Emmett devises a cunning solution for getting past the guards. The revolutionaries will explode diversionary bombs around the city to draw the soldiers away from Dublin Castle.
And a smaller, well-armed force would then infiltrate the castle.
But if caught, the freedom fighters will pay the ultimate price.
It was high treason. They would have been sentenced to death.
Despite the risks, Emmett and his band of rebels get to work manufacturing explosives and stockpiling weapons. But on July 16th, something goes horribly wrong. As Emmett's accomplices are assembling the bombs at a secret location, there's an explosion.
We had 3 of his men in there at the time. 1 was killed, and the other 2 survived.
But Emmett's loyal supporters are not the only casualties. Soon, the entire operation is in jeopardy.
The explosion drew the attention of the police, who came to the premises, and this turns everything on its head.
But when questioned, one of Emmett's men comes up with a clever cover story. He tells the police he's a chemist and that the explosion was the result of his latest experiment, which had gone awry. The authorities seem satisfied with this explanation and leave.
Amazingly enough, they didn't discover the stash of weapons there, so the plan was saved.
With disaster averted, Emmett summons his men to prepare for the imminent rebellion.
It was now or never.
It's July 1803 in Dublin. Irish revolutionary Robert Emmett is about to launch an attack on Dublin Castle. He's hoping that the bold move will spark rebellion throughout the land and finally free the country from English rule. So he gathers his supporters and distributes the stockpiled weapons.
And then he gave a rousing, emotional speech to rally this group of men, and he reminded them of the reason they were there, and the outcome of this would be an independent Ireland.
Then, Emmett dispatches a team to plant the diversionary bombs and leads the rest of his followers towards Dublin Castle. But soon, his carefully crafted plan goes horribly wrong. By tragic chance, a man appears along the route to the castle. Some of the men quickly recognize him as a hated judge for the English government. Enraged by the sight of this enemy sympathizer, the riled-up rebels show no mercy and spear him to death on the spot.
Robert Emmett sees this happening and realizes they are doomed before it has even started.
The dying man's screams are sure to attract attention from the authorities, and the insurgents are still far from their intended target.
So even before one of the explosive devices has been set or goes off, Emmett calls off the rebellion. He flees the scene and goes into hiding.
But within weeks, English forces track him down and put him on trial for treason. Quickly found guilty, he's sentenced to death by hanging. Nonetheless, the revolutionary takes one last opportunity to inspire his fellow Irishmen, delivering a stirring speech that is celebrated to this day.
He finishes with the famous line, "When my country takes her place beside the nations of the earth, then And not till then, let my epitaph be written.
The rousing address inspires generations of Irish freedom fighters, making Emmett's name synonymous with the movement. And in 1922, Emmett's dream is finally realized when Ireland gains independence. Today, Dublin Castle stands as a striking reminder of the Irish hero who gave everything for his homeland.